Hello, dear soul family, Soul Bridge family. I'm Julie from Soul Bridge Holistics. And today we're going to talk about something that everyone's always curious about. You've heard these words, you wonder what they mean, you wonder what the implications are for you, and what exactly of use are these things. The Akashic Records and the Halls of Amenti. I have written my notes up, so excuse me while I stare at my notes. It's a dense conversation. There's a lot to discuss here, and I'm going to try my best. So the Akashic Records are a universal database. People have described the Akashic Records as being a place where they get a life review. They cross over, they're walking across a field, they see this beautiful white building with very large white stone columns and just endless walls of records that appear to be coming out of the walls. And then they're given a life review, and they can pull from the Akashic Records a lot of information. So I'm going to give you a little bit of an idea of what's stored in the Akashic Records. Every lifetime, every emotion, every choice you've ever made, every relationship, every timeline outcome, every soul's history, and even future potentials, not fixed destinies. There's no one that can see the future. The future is not written, as far as there not being time or aging or anything on the other side. That's true, but there's the future. Time does march in a linear fashion, and there's no way to predict what the future will be. You can choose to be born 500 years from now and wait it out and come back in 500 years, but you can't be 500 years from now right now because the future's not written yet. So they are potentials, they're future potentials, which people that read energy will call energy streamers. They can pick up the streamers. So that is something about what the Akashic Records are. So when a person crosses over and they're given a life review, they view choices that they made. They see their whole life play before their eyes like a movie, but they see it in more than three dimensions, because they can perceive the emotions of the people around them. They can see all the choices that they made, and then they're also given the ability to perceive why they made those choices. The life path they chose to live, the conditions they chose to be put into, and how those things with maybe disabilities or even mental illness cause them to make certain choices that they made. And then they sort of review it and go, oh, okay, well, that makes sense now. That's good to know. So the Akashic Records are considered sacred records. You can view anyone's Akashic Records on that side. Some people here have the ability to actually enter the Akashic Records and read things about lifetimes, so you can get impressions of other people's lives, and sometimes that is used for healing purposes. And mediums can sometimes pull the Akashic Records and help you to heal from things that have happened in your lifetime, where you're carrying around emotional scars or energy scars. Excuse my voice. All right, so the Halls of Amenti are considered to be inside of chambers under the temples, the pyramids that are in Egypt. So there's been some talk about inner earth. There's been some talk about multi-dimensional chambers or gateways that lead to other dimensions. And those halls of Amenti would be inside something that's in a different dimension. And it's not really the same as crossing over and being in heaven, but it is a different dimension. They are guarded by ascended masters, the halls of Amenti, the seven lords of Amenti, a place that initiates enter to receive deep wisdom, an energy realm. So the halls of Amenti do have temples. They have giant columns that look like the library where the Akashic Records are stored. It's very similar with these giant, beautiful buildings. So people cross over, see these giant buildings, and they go, oh, this kind of reminds me of the stuff that people were building when they were in previous lives. And you have to ask yourself, were the people in those lifetimes building the buildings because they remembered things that were in heaven or on the other side? Or are the people inspired by feeling these visions and wanting to reproduce heaven on earth? Interesting thoughts, right, for consideration. So the halls of Amenti was originally thought to have been overseen by Thoth, who is also called Hermes. He described the halls as a place where soul renewal and resurrection occur, a sort of cosmic initiation chamber. So unlike the Akashic records, the halls of Amenti are not a database of everyone. So it would be considered an initiation chamber or a place for reviewing a person's energy. It's a restricted realm for spiritual initiation, soul restoration, and light body advancement. So some of the beings who were considered in Egyptian times to be very advanced were working with Thoth at the halls of Amenti. The Akashic records contain all the soul information, and the halls of Amenti contain the deepest, most sacred soul codes, the blueprint of human evolution and higher consciousness. The Akashic records equal all of the files, and the halls of Amenti are a vault where the most sacred files are kept. So I wanted to see what else I have in my notes. They're not the same location, but they do interface with each other. A backup vault where the original human templates and starseed contracts were placed. Interesting. So again, we talk about how you had life contracts, that you agreed to do certain things in your lifetime, that your lifetime was plotted out in terms of the city, the year, the place you'd be born, the time you'd be born, who your parents would be, siblings you'd interact with, different people you'd have contracts with to meet in this lifetime. The halls of Amenti are a deeper, ancient chamber of sacred wisdom where the original soul blueprints and where cosmic teachings are stored. The Akashic records are a universal memory field of every soul. The halls of Amenti are a deeper, ancient chamber of sacred wisdom where the original soul blueprints and cosmic teachings are stored. They're connected. The halls of Amenti hold powerful and protected information, like the soul's divine architecture. And again, we spoke before in another video about everything's energy. It's been said that a lot of energy can be stored in crystals too, that crystals can have memory. So imagine underground that the rock, that stones, that the vibration of the earth holds memory. So I just wanted to give you an overview so that you could understand something about what people see when they cross over and what they're talking about when they do a life review. Where are they getting this information from? But if they're going to the library on the other side and they view the Akash from the Akashic records, when they're standing there and seeing this three-dimensional running film of their whole life, and they get their life review, everyone who crosses over gets a life review. Just because you're curious how you did, right? And you want to know if you did well. Well, the good news is you can't really mess it up here, because I think you're probably working from your highest good as it is. Every time you make a choice, there's a reason for your choice. Every time you move forward, it's free will. You are choosing to move forward, and you're choosing, the best of the situations that are given to you at the time. So basically, the Akashic records are going to be sacred documents that are, in some religions they actually say that the angels write the books, right? The book of your life. So the angels are writing down the book of your life. Interesting. So at any rate, this is being documented, and everything that you do while you're on earth, while you're in a living body or in a sacred human body, is sacred. Everything is sacred. It's interesting that John Edwards was giving a reading once, and a man said, I'm coming to you today because I have a question. His question was, where did my brother bury the money, right? Because they were bank robbers. But he says, your brother's coming through. He says that you stayed in an interesting hotel with roaches. He says that when you were in the bathroom, you saw a flowered shower curtain with a cockroach going up the shower curtain and crossing the flowers. Is that correct? And he said, yes. And he goes, your brother says hello. And he goes, but that's not all I want. He goes, your brother says hello. He's done, right? Because on the other side, the soul doesn't care what you're doing in a human body. They're detached from it now. They don't care. But the record is there. They can see everything. He could see his brother sitting with John Edwards asking for information, but the spirit's detached at that point. They're done with this life. They've written what they wrote, and off they go to another chapter. So you're writing a book right now, whether you have a pen and paper or not. Every thought, every deed, every action, everything that you do is sacred. So enjoy your sacred life, and thank you for being with me today at Soulbridge Holistics. Please buy me a coffee. There's a link below. Like, share, subscribe. Have a beautiful, luminous day.